Welcome back. This is episode 79 of the Inner Lenses. We've got Brett, Gaby, Erika, and myself. We hope that whatever you celebrated was a good one for you. And if not, we are going to invite you and our other listener to consider going into this new year, letting go of your sunken costs, giving up on procrastination, letting go of what might have been in years gone by, and entering into this new season with hope, not with resolutions that aren't going to come true, like diets and gym and stuff like that, but actually nurturing a seed of hope into something that will grow and flower this year. Gaby, you set us up with this one. Why don't you set us off?
Thanks, Alec. Well, the reason why I came up with it is the time right now, as we say in Germany, in between the years, has so much reflection time. Probably because there's a lot of holidays, we're not running around as much. And I'm wondering, how often do we actually allow ourselves to take a breath, take time out from everyday busyness, really reflect where we're at, and allow ourselves to actually have hope rather than staying in the shoulds, the musts, the have to, making plans for the next year, setting millions of goals we're not going to achieve anyway, but just actually live in the flow and have the hope. And how important is hope to actually keep going anyway? That's the real question. Would we do anything? Would we even set goals or New Year's resolution if we wouldn't have hope? Is hope the motivation, the driver?
I'm very aware that I will be back in my own home on the 30th. I will have just spent the Christmas period with Erika and Brett, and I suspect I will be experiencing some sorrow. I'm spending Christmas there. I'm also taking my son, and this will be the first Christmas in 6 years that we will have had together. And I feel that, considering what hope will be as I go into this first whole year in my new home, what that will look like and what I want it to include. Am I going to hold on to aspirations around my business, ecology, where we all met in the first place, doing something in this fantastic new location, whether that be physical connection with a group or something else. So that's a very present thought for me right now.
December 30th. I'm feeling, okay, so holidays are over. Well, Christmas period is over. We still have New Year's Eve. And New Year's Eve, interesting enough for me, is also melancholy, right? I still am riding this melancholy feeling because it's another year gone, is the way I look at it, right? So in that moment of New Year's Eve and like the 30th and New Year's Eve, I'm not feeling hopeful yet. I'm still melancholy about, reflecting on what there's another year that's gone by. Where am I? Have I changed? Am I any different? Am I any further along? Not necessarily in goals or things that I've wanted to accomplish, but me as a person, my emotional growth, my maturity, the way I look at things. It's another year gone. Which also reminds me of another year that I've been without whoever, or another year my son has grown up, right? So it's like all of this transitional stuff that's going on for me leading into New Year's Eve. But the hope comes because in that transition, it's now I have it's a fresh beginning. It's a new beginning. January, it's a new beginning. For me, I gave up resolutions long time ago. Like it's too much pressure. It's too much lip service. Like, yeah, I'm going to choose to do that. No, I'm not. No, you're not. Stop bullshitting yourself. No, you're not. You're not, just get real. You're not doing any of that because do you really even want to? So I think for me, I've sort of started to adopt this. Well, what's nature doing at this time? It's winter for where we are anyway. It's time to reflect what worked, what didn't work, what do you want? But I think as I'm growing older in chronological years and also just emotionally, it's less about accomplishing, right? Because I'm learning that accomplishing isn't always the greatest way for me to be going, because I can overachieve and I can really drive myself into the ground. And do I want to continue to do that? No, I really don't. I don't think that that's what I want to do. So I'm choosing hope in the recalibration of how I want to be. Like, how am I going to recalibrate how I exist in the world? What kind of reflection does that take? What kind of reevaluation of how I'm currently showing up and where I'm showing up is that going to take? The hope comes with, how's this going to make me feel once I actually do that? I think that's where the hope lies for me. So it's driven more in an energetic feeling, like, how am I really going to change as a person if I subscribe to this nature kind of quieting down, settling in, hunkering down? Recalibration is what it's about for me, I think.
I'm also aware that 6 years ago, in this period, over Christmas Day itself and up into New Year, I literally just had major spinal surgery. I remember being able to push my toes against the footplate of the hospital bed in that first. If anybody's had a general anaesthetic, you go through a couple of periods of waking where you're still so kind of drugged that it is far from a lucid moment, and then you have this first waking up where you like really remember and know where you are. And I can remember the fear of, okay, I'm going to try and push my feet, and doing that, pushing them firmly and knowing that I was going to be able to stand, and whatever my limitations were, there was at least feeling. And I can kind of use that as an analogy going into this year, this new year. Whatever happens, I'm going to be able to stand. Whatever I have in terms of mobility, maybe this is the year that I pursue that grail of mine, which was running. Before my surgery, I was running 80 miles a week. I've never run since. So actually feeling hope is actually one of those emotions that I can tap into more easily, I think, than some of the others. So thank you, Gaby, for making me reflect on this. I didn't realise today that I was going to become aware of the fact that I am a really hopeful person.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I think with hope, doesn't hope walk hand in hand with trust? That we trust in something, that's why we hope. I don't think hope can come on its own. It has a sister trusting that everything will be okay. That we, at least in a way, that we will manage it, and that we will grow into whatever comes along. Because I think New Year's is too much attached to goal setting rather than living life in a good way. And as Erika said, it's a season in nature. It's the season to calm down, reduce stress. It's winter. The plants are asleep. everything is gearing up for spring, but also to allow this, I can take a breath and I trust that the next year will also bring something along.
You've just reminded me, and we've mentioned this once before, hope was the final thing left in Pandora's box. And without going political, we have had a crazy year. 2025, you can look back on and feel like maybe all the ills of Pandora's box showed themselves, regardless of political leanings or where you are in the world. 2025 is going to be in the history books as one of the weirdest years that we have ever had. But in the bottom of the box remains hope.
Gaby, right before you spoke, I was just about to say, I don't feel hope can come. Like, there's got to be some level of trust at the end of that. And as we all know, I struggle greatly with that. So I'm sitting here like, hope. It feels, what's the word? How do I want to say this? It feels almost like fluffy to me, like hope. What are you doing with that? Like, you can hope that it's going to happen, but unless you do something, nothing's fucking happening. So hope all you want, but so that's how it felt for me because of that trust thing, right? Like it's very difficult for me to just be like, I'm hopeful it's all going to work out. There's still that part of me that's like, yeah, how much do you trust that it actually is going to work out? There's still a little action piece in there for me, I think, with hope. It's like, I have to do my part. And the rest is hopeful that it's going to end up the way that I'm setting out for it to do. But I can't just sit and say, I hope that, I can let go of the stress in the new year. Well, bitch, that ain't happening unless you do something about that. So I do struggle with it. I love it. I love the concept of it. It feels great. And I'm even thinking about how we loosely use the word, right? Like, I'm thinking if I'm having a conversation like with my son or something and he says something, it might be like, well, I sure hope that you're going to make the right decision, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, damn, please make the right decision, right? Like, so there has to be trust in that he's going to make the right decision. But when I say that, I don't think I'm fully embodying that. It feels almost like there's a fear there that I don't know that I can trust that you're going to make the right decision. I'm hoping you do that. I don't know. When it comes in terms of a new year, open it up to us. Like, there's a whole lot that can be done, but it's up to us to really make the decision of how involved we want to be in getting the change that we say we want, of the new type of life. For me, it's more about a whole new way of being, like a lifestyle change, not just, I hope that I can, start running again, which is great. And that's a goal as well for me, but it's bigger. And I have to be involved somewhat in the end game of that.
I mean, you're right that hope needs to have the action, because the stuff is not just coming to knock on our doors and say hi. We have to do something. That's right. But the question I had in the beginning, like, if we would not, somewhere down here, would have hope and trust that it's going to work out, would we even start? I mean, Alec, if I take your example, if you would have been lying in the hospital bed at the time and said, nah, there's no hope, it's not going to happen anyway, you wouldn't have even wiggled your toes. You know what I mean? So, anything we do, I have hope that I will be having some growth next year. I hope that my business will go bigger next year. There's a lot of hopes I have. Without that hope, I wouldn't even start.
Mm. Mm.
We would be back to, was it to blasé? We
Blasé.
started like, who cares?
Who
I don't
cares?
care. Doesn't work out anywhere. What's the point of it? You know, without a hope, would we ever do anything? Brad, you're in the fire department. Without hoping that you can be able to stop the fire, would you just let the houses burn down? Because what's the point?
I guess you can't be blasé fireman. It's all right.
Yeah, good. I think carrying into the next year, I'm gonna hope that I carry the awareness that in the hard times, right, that I'm still there and I have a choice and I have a say. Right, those are the things, because there's going to be hard times, there's going to be good times, there's going to be goals, there's going to be all of that stuff, right? That's just life. But I really want the awareness that when I am in those hard times, right, just to have the awareness to say and to feel like, this is feeling X bad or good, or the awareness to where I am and the moment, right? Those moments that we have in our life that we are awake to, right? Rather than being driven through my life, I want to walk and take myself through that journey. There's something huge in that, and that's where I want to go next year. That's what I want to bring to next year, is just that present awareness in the hard times, right? Hard times are really tough, and also the good times, so I can appreciate the good times. So when I'm in that bad time, I can giggle about certain things and the good times, and still hold on to all those pieces of what it was, what my life is, what, you know what I mean, the what I bring to it. So there's that piece that I want to bring in. It's not tied to one specific outcome. I think it's more the awareness and the presence, for me, is most important. Because even when I'm really sad and down and like in that really bad place, right? The awareness to allow myself to cry if I need to cry. The awareness to allow myself to feel the feelings, because I know they're not going to be there with me all the time. So give the space to what my body needs to release, right? The awareness of allowing that feeling and holding it, seeing where it is inside me, and how I can just let it go. And if it's a cry, if it's, I don't know, running or whatever, right? It's just giving it a way out of me, so I don't have to carry it into my next moment. If I don't want to, maybe I may want to, because it may inspire something in me. It may drive me to do something, right? So there's that piece of the awareness, like, no, I'm holding on to this because this is going to drive me to do that, whatever that may be. So to know when to open the hands and release, or to like grip a little tighter, like, yeah, like, let's do this, like, and take it with me. You're coming with me. We're doing this together, kind of thing. So I think 26 is going to be a powerful year for a lot of us, not just me. And that's just me feeling that, right? So, and I think it's going to take the awareness of not just myself, hopefully the awareness of everybody around us, to be able to be aware and know who we are and how we hold ourselves. Well, and I'm going to stay with the me, right? Because I can only stay with the me, right? I want to hold on to my awareness and know what I bring to a situation and to a scenario, and whether it's good, bad, or indifference, I want to hold on to that awareness of what I am in that place, right? Because I can be what's needed, what's missing. And I know that because I learn more about myself each day that I'm around. So I love that I get old because it comes with the gifts and the knowing of what I am, if I'm open to receiving those, right? Otherwise, I could just stay and I can be blasé and not feel the feelings and push things off. And yeah, there's something about just the moment, right? The moment, the feeling, the emotions, the love, all of it wrapped up into life. So that is what I want to bring into 26.
I think you said earlier, we don't procrastinate about the things that we're passionate about. And Gary then sort of directed us to understand the emotion first and then the behaviors and the actions that came after. And this strikes me as exactly that. Picking up on Erika's thought, the hope is there, albeit the tiniest ember, but with awareness and making it an I, when I am aware that hope is there, and when I form an intention that I'm going to take certain steps, it could be the same with anything. Erika would say that if you don't take some steps to heal from your grief, nothing's going to happen. If you don't take some action steps around a hope, nothing's going to happen. And I think it's important that we all understand this well, so that when our listener does say, do you know what I could do with some guidance here, we know that it isn't enough to want. We can all want something, but we actually have to bring that, and I'm not sort of going all law of attraction here, but we do manifest through intention and action, and sometimes even just saying it out loud, saying to you and Erika, do you know what, I am going to come to the States for Christmas. I then have the chance to either make that work and see it come to fruition, or it's just chat. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like there's been enough chat. As Gaby said earlier, you reach a certain age and you think, right, I might have 20 years left if I'm lucky. I haven't got time to chat anymore about stuff that isn't going to happen. I'm either focused on the stuff that I do want, like going to Hungary and catching up with Gary, going to our island that I still can't remember the name of. Do it or don't do it, but don't get in your own way,
As you're speaking, the hope, I'm really hopeful that I have enough time, that I'm given the time that I want, more time. I'm hopeful for that. I have no control over it. It is what it is, but I'm hopeful about it. There's nothing I can do. Hope when it comes to this new burgeoning year, right? It's mixed with desire. I feel like there has to be a real strong desire for me to want something else, to mix into that hope, to effectuate something different than what is right now. So, I'm curious for all of us here as I know, probably wrapping this up soon, this episode, but we're on the verge of a new year. We've had this whole conversation. If you could sum up what you would like, then what the next year is going to, or even the first quarter of the next year. I've learned to start doing that as well, because there's a whole lot of time in a whole year. I'm not about to make decisions about the exact way I'm going through the year today and make it be what has to be the whole year. I like to seasonally, with the first quarter of the year, right? What is it that you're looking to have happen? What do you hope for in that first quarter of the year? Do each of you have one or a brief 1 or 2 words that you can come up with to signify that for you before we end? Because then I would love to check in and see How did it go? What do you got?
I'll jump in and say I don't know if I will ever be able to run again, but I know that going into this new year, this first quarter in this amazing place in which I'm lucky to live, I can do other things of movement that will create a healthier me, which in turn hopefully will give me more of that commodity that none of us can guarantee, being time. So 2 words, healthier me.
Cool. Gab or Brett?
Yeah, for me, it's very simple. And then actually, funny enough, almost the opposite. It's actually something I hope to find for the next 20 years, or I'm hopeful I get to 100. Whatever, the next 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
To actually fully live out of the place of peace and not let myself be distracted anymore by shiny objects or the have tos, the should, the whatever comes along, but really living out of that place of complete peace. And it doesn't mean nothing is happening, but not to get thrown into this hustling stress culture that do all day, but out of place of peace and do what I want to do, take action on it. But as Alec as I said, let the peace be that empire and decide where I live from. That's really it.
Cool. Brett?
I think the awareness and allowing the space to create what I want and the patience to get myself there without judgment and right the patience, just knowing that I'm gonna have obstacles, I'm gonna have just have patience. It's okay. That goes with the awareness. It all goes together. I need each one of those, or I don't need. I have. I know I have. I already have it. It's just, yeah. The creation is big. Creation is big, and then the patience. So
Okay. So Alex said healthier me. Gaby said complete peace is what I'm summarizing that up with. And Brett, aware and patiently creative. Patiently create, right? For me, the first quarter of the new year, it's definitely, I keep getting this recalibration coming in. Like it's time for me to really recalibrate and reevaluate where my energy is going, so I can decide what I really want to be doing with my time in the acutely and bigger, larger than that. So I wrote this down, and we all know what that means when I write shit down. So then, because I see you all a lot, come, March or so, I'm going to be saying, so how's it going? Have you patiently created, and have you been in complete peace, Gaby, with no shiny distractions going on for you? And Alec, how's your activity going?
So, listener, if you've ever wondered if there is a good list and a bad list, there is. It's compiled by Erika and and if your name is on that list, believe me, you are going to be held accountable.
It's no good or bad. It's just don't say it if you don't want my pen to hit paper and then show it to you later.
With this, we come to the end of our 79th episode. So the first time you hear from us in the new year, we'll be back to November. So, anybody want to say anything? Finish us off.
Yeah, happy fucking New Year. Goodbye 2025. And I'm wishing us all a peaceful, whatever that means to each of us, and healthy New Year with deeper connection and growth for all of us.
Yeah.
Nice.
See you in the new year, dear listener and everyone.
See
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Happy New Year.